So let's talk about this. This is my first time using my parents' dehydrator. Yes, it's borrowed. Still do not have my own dehydrator, but luckily my dad only uses it when he gets deer. He likes to make his own jerky with his kill, right? So that's fabulous, and it's a nice dehydrator. Obviously, it makes fantastic deer jerky, but what am I using it for? Okay, well, I am dehydrating my Anaheim chili peppers so I can make chili powder. I'm also going to dehydrate my black Hungarian peppers, probably my sugar rush peach and cowhorn peppers too. They're just not ready yet. The Anaheim peppers I was able to save, and because they didn't sprout out in the greenhouse. Now there's a backstory behind that. You see, I started my peppers in February like everybody else, all right? I stuck them out in the greenhouse, and then the weatherman lied, and yeah, a lot of my stuff died, like my peppers and tomatoes. I did have a few tomato survivors, but none of my peppers survived. Luckily, this tray of seedlings did not sprout yet, so the seeds were still good. So I stuck them back inside underneath the grow light, and yeah, they grew. So I hired them off, put them out. So these are my first ripe peppers. Even though they were started late, they're not as late as my other peppers. Anyway, now that we're done with the backstory. So now I am getting into major Anaheim pepper production. And this is my first time using this dehydrator. It's the first time anything's been this dehydrator other than my attempt at scapes this year. And I pulled them out soon because I figured I could use them faster than I dehydrate them. And it didn't make sense for me to go ahead and waste the electricity when I could use the scapes right now. So that didn't count. Yeah. So I got my timer set for 2 hours, but clearly I only have an hour and a half left. And that's just for a checkpoint. Now, according to YouTube's videos that I've watched, the little booklet that comes with this Nesco American Harvest Food Dehydrator and Jerky Meter, which is I can't remember what model it is. Anyway, it says 4 to 8 hours, and the lady was dehydrating apples and strawberries. So I'm gonna go off of the 4 to 8 hours. And she checked hers after 2 hours and checked on their progress. So I'm going to do that and then see how long it takes. So I wanted to take you along with that journey with me. Just check back with me and we'll see how the progress goes. And there is a gap down here, but on this particular dehydrator, the lip of this bottom tray is clear. So this is clear, and it is all covered and smothered and nice. Okay, it's been over a little couple hours, but let's take the top off and take a look. It's not been too much past 2 hours. Whoo, look! This one's getting a little crispy on the side. Ooh, crispy, crispy. Let's look under a couple trays. Oh, there's 3 trays, so we're on the 4th tray. All right. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think we should have it done, but about 6 hours. We'll see. It is 7:20 Eastern Standard Time. And, yeah. So I don't know if I will finish this video tonight or not. First thing tomorrow morning before I go to work, I will make sure I do if I don't finish it up tonight. So it is the next morning at like 7:01. And I did turn the dehydrator down to 95 all night last night because I was ready to go to bed and I didn't want to deal with it. I just turned it back up and checked on it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my findings. I didn't think about grabbing the camera first thing this morning rolling out of bed. So they're kind of leathery at this point. So I turned it back up to 135 degrees to finish dehydrating them out. The ones on below are looking crispy in the bottom rack, but, sorry, my finger's in the way. Now the focus is out. Alright guys. All right, there we go, back into focus. Catch up with you in a couple hours. All right, it's been a couple hours at 1:35. I need some more countertop space. It's feeling less leathery and drier for sure, and it's even a little crispy sounding in some areas. Let's check the underneath trays. Ooh, all these stacked on top of each other for some reason. This one's a little crispy. The guts are crispy. It's still a little leathery. But I have to go to work, so I'm going to end up, I don't care what order these are in. It probably could be switched around a bit anyway, except it's not balancing on top of the lid there. Yeah, this one's even softer yet. These are soft. I have to go to work, so I'm going to turn it back down to 95 degrees while I'm at work and come home and check on the progress thereafter. So that's what's going to happen. See you soon. Okay, I was literally at work for 3.5 hours, so let's see how it turned out. It's still on 95. It's starting to get crispy now. I'm going to go ahead and turn it up to 135 and check it after a couple hours again. First of all, let's see what's going on with the bottom tray because it was drying out quicker. Oh, it's not drying out quicker, it's drying out slower. Alright, well, there's that too. Alright, so I'll turn it up to 135 and check it again after a few hours. Alright, I was just out in the garden, literally gardening. I'm sure you guys are going to see that video before you see this one. So let me wash my hands and I will get back to you and we'll check up on these here Anaheim peppers. Alrighty, let's take a look. Crispier, I could hear the edges crisp, and it's probably not helping I just washed my hands and putting moisture on these, but you know what? I'm going to let them run, and I'll let you know when they're done, or if I move trays around, blah, 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 because it's going to be a while. It didn't help the fact that I went to bed early on them, turned it all the way down, and went to work, turned it all the way down, but it kept the process going, so it is dragged out versus if you just started it in the early morning and went all day with it. So it is the next morning, and I've already been out here when starting the coffee maker, and I checked on them, and they are done. This is after a couple cups of coffee, so I can actually properly talk on camera, at least talk better. So I kind of eluded that one there. Let's get this lid off. All right. So I already have the food processor set up with the little slicer dicer thingy in the middle. It needs to be down lower though. Hang on. Okay, I got that figured out. So I'll get the lid put back on it and in place. Alright, now it's time to wash my hands and get these peppers loaded. I did forget to say that I did run it all night long at 135 degrees Fahrenheit, so I did not turn it down overnight. I figured as long as it's taking, it's not going to hurt to let it run all night long. So note that for yourself if you've never dehydrated peppers before, and I'm going to remember that. Don't turn it down, just let it run at the proper temperature. But it still turned out just fine. It just took longer than it needed to. So let's get them loaded now. Oh, crap. I suppose I could just chuck them all in there. I'm used to using this thing. That's what I was thinking of with my slicer and grater plate on top. Alright, I'll come back when they're all loaded. One thing I did want to show real quick though is how I know how done they are. It's because they crack really easy throughout the whole pepper. I did quarter these peppers before I put them on the tray, and I left the little ribs and guts in there too. I am saving seeds for my giveaway I have coming up later on this fall. So yeah, there's not very many seeds in here, that's why. Alrighty, they didn't all want to stick down in there right, and I tried taking the pitcher off and shaking around. They just don't want to settle down, so we'll just put this back on there. I started off on low and then finished on high. I see quite a bit of powder in there, so I wanted to check to see if I need to put it on longer or what. So let's check the consistency. I mean, it's kind of powdery. I think it'll work. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on a bit longer. I want to taste it first. That's very sweet. And kind of spicy. I like it. I want to blend my black Hungarian peppers in there too, but right now I'm saving those in freezer bags in the freezer, so they're not ready yet. But I do have saved spice containers that I can load it into, and then I can mix them together later if I want, or just keep them separate. I'm going to put this back on for a bit and see how it does. Alright, let's check her again. It got better, but you know what? I'm okay with the consistency. I don't mind it a little chunky. It's not going to hurt anything. For the most part, it is powdery, so it's just added texture. So I will get this put up in my little chili powder container here, and I will do some sort of a smiley face or something on there. That way I know which one it is, or maybe I'll just write out Anaheim pepper on there if I really feel like it, but I'll know. So, hey, thank you guys for joining me my first time dehydrating peppers and turning them into chili powder. And I also wanted to tell you that I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.